morning, everyone. We're back for a podcast today. Hi, Sylvia. How are you?
Hi, doing good, doing good.
And today we have a very nice and a friend of mine, sorry, a very posh guest from the UK, Zoe, in the house.
Hi. How are
Hi,
you?
Zoe. How
Hi,
are you?
Veronique. I am good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming to our podcast.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, all the way from Annapolis.
Yes. Yeah, we're in the USA. Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about the life of a Navy wife, because that's
Yes,
what you
indeed.
are.
I am.
So
Yeah.
yes, who you are. So can you introduce yourself, please, Zoe?
Yeah, absolutely. I am Zoe Meaghan.
Mhm.
I am a Navy wife and I have been for 12 years now. We just celebrated. Um,
Ooh.
Mother of two, have a 10-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son. And they have taken to military life very nicely. They're doing really well. Ryan has been in the Navy for now just over 22 years.
Wow.
So yeah, so he
Oh.
was in the Navy when we met, but we knew each other when we were kids. So we joined Sea Cadets together, which is kind of like a baby Navy.
Oh.
And we joined the band together. So we played the trumpet. And then like we were friends and but then eventually we lost touch until one fateful night in 2005. I bumped
Mhm.
into him in a bar, and then we started dating and we got married in 2011.
Reminds me of my
So
husband that I also bumped into a bar.
yeah, you're like,
Sylvia
hey,
too, right?
And me too. I'm like, wow, hey.
On my husband in the bar.
yeah, you're like, hey, you'll do. You'll come with me. Thank you.
Exactly. So Zoe and I, we used to work together for Air France
Air
in the
France.
UK.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Yeah.
So when we were working together, you were not already with Ryan,
No. I
because
got
I
together with,
left. Yeah, in 2000, I
yeah.
think. Yeah,
Yeah,
and three.
I left Air France in 2005 and
Okay.
we got together in 2007.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, if your husband was already in the Navy when you met. So he was already in the Navy.
Yes, yeah. So he joined in 2001. So
Okay.
he's just done his 22 years, which is, I think it's gone quite quickly for him. But
22
yeah,
years.
it's
Yeah.
crazy, isn't it? You think, whoa, 22
Yeah.
years ago, my goodness.
Flies.
But yeah, yeah. So
Good.
it's been a good life.
So how is it, Zoe? Like, how is the life of a military family? Like, do you live when you're traveling around? Do you live in like some places like military base? Like kind of like all the houses together? Is that like the
Yes.
type of setup?
Well,
Yeah.
sort of. So in the UK, in the Navy, you don't live on a base. So like it's called
Mm-hmm.
living behind the wire. So you go through the gate with the guards. In the Navy,
Mm.
we, as a family, we don't do that, but we live on what's called like a Navy patch. So you'll live
Okay.
amongst other people in the Navy and some other forces as well. And you live just like on a regular street, but all your neighbours are military families.
Oh, I
Mm.
see.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
except we moved to Gibraltar. We lived 2 years in Gibraltar before we moved here.
Mhm.
And that was in a gated community, everybody living in apartments. It was intense living,
Oh.
actually. It was quite
Yeah.
intense.
Why
Why?
was it intense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
I think just because there were so many families and
Uh-huh.
Mm.
everybody was so Gibraltar, I don't know if you know anything about it. It's a British overseas territory on the southernmost tip of Spain, and it's 3 miles long and 1 mile wide. So the country is teeny. Like you can walk
Oh.
Mm.
round the country in a matter of hours. And everybody's living on this one base. It was a very nice life. We made lots of friends. There was a pool and community centre and a nursery that my son Rafe went to. So from that perspective, it was really good. You made friends quickly. You developed like a family out there, and that was lovely. But also, it kind of like everybody knew everything.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Because yeah, I could
Yes.
imagine that, right? And
Yeah.
gossips. So did you have to
Mm.
deal with that type of because
Yeah,
everybody
certainly.
together?
I think
Hmm.
though you've got people like that in every walk of life. It's just much more
Yeah.
intense when you live in a place like that. But it
Yeah.
was certainly not a negative experience. It was a really positive, a really good time. The weather was good. The kids
Mhm.
were able to just run around, and there were 4 play parks, so the kids would just go out and run around, and we lived right on the beach. So um, it was a good place to be. But I think I'm happy being here. We're in like a normal residential street.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Nobody knows that we're a military family unless you sort of say, "Oh, what are you doing here? You're British," because obviously the accent is it brings up some questions. But it's been good. The kids have thrived. I was very worried because we moved around a lot, and my
Mhm.
daughter Erin, she's now 10, and she's gone to a few different schools because of being in like military life. And I was so worried that this would put so much pressure on her, or she wouldn't be able to settle if we keep moving. But she's
Yeah.
fabulous. She is fabulous. And Rafe, he's 3, absolutely great. You wouldn't know there were any
Hmm.
issues. It's a good life, I think, and it gives a lot of good life experience,
Mhm.
good resilience skills in the kids, and they are happier now than I think they've ever been.
I think
Oh.
it's fun. We don't. I think we as parents we worry more than we need to when it comes to
Oh
that because
yes,
us as kids we just loved it. Like we did that. We were traveling like that in the 80s. Imagine like in Brazil, like 80s, there was nothing there, like no phone. It was very hard to communicate. It was only through letters, pretty much.
yeah,
And we would
Mm.
just move like from one place to another, make new friends, and then say goodbye to them. Maybe like exchange letters
yeah,
and still try to communicate. But then you move on to next life, new
yeah,
friends, and you're okay
Yeah.
with that. And
yeah.
it was awesome.
I think it's exciting. It's fun, and now
Mm.
we're in an age of technology where the kids can
Yeah.
stay in touch more.
Yeah.
And Erin's best friend and her, they're already developing ideas of how they're going to fly to see each other, and they're going to go traveling together when
Mm.
they're older. Um, yeah, I think life is a lot easier. I think for me, I miss my family desperately, but
Yeah, I was gonna
you
ask,
know,
yeah.
so many people have missed their families, definitely, and there are so many people in
Mhm.
terrible situations that don't. I'm very fortunate. I'm able to keep in touch with my family, but yeah, I miss them desperately. Um, but
But I
it's a
see
good
that
life.
your mom and dad, they come to visit quite often, right?
Yeah, so they came
Especially in Gibraltar.
in Gibraltar it was fine because it's like a 3-hour flight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
super close. Yeah.
yeah, they
Mhm.
came I think we were there for 2 years, and they came to visit 6 times, and we went home several times. And so we weren't apart for more than 3 months at a time.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was good. But by the time we go home at Christmas, we won't have been back to the UK for 10 months. And in between Gibraltar and the US, we were only home for 12 days. So it's it just makes visiting like extra special.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. I like it. I like living here. It's a lovely life.
And the moving and everything, the kids are okay with it, like you said.
Yeah.
They can stay
No,
in
they're
touch with their friends.
yeah, exactly.
Um,
They can we've got technology now so that they can FaceTime. Erin's still in touch
mhm.
with some of her friends from Gibraltar, and there's so much that keeps us linked now.
Yeah.
When we lived here in 2012, we were able to text, but we weren't able to video call. That
Oh,
sort
yeah.
of developed later, what didn't it? And
Yeah.
Mhm.
so
So
we
fast, right?
yeah, exactly. And my family were like, right, just send a picture of Erin every day because she was born here.
Hmm.
And we just sort of kept in touch by sending pictures to family members, and they would do the same. And now we can just chat as if you were just down the road. So and the kids are great. They love it. They love living in a nice house. But like I
Oh,
said, don't get used to
okay.
it.
One thing then, you have to, I know it's something negative we have to say. What about the packing girl? the packing and the unpacking.
Oh, well,
I
yeah,
couldn't do it. Your whole
it's
house all the time like this.
it's so, honestly, it was so stressful. And
I
normally
know.
you get packed, they pack you and they move your stuff and then they bring it to you and then they unpack it for you. But then,
Oh,
well, but it doesn't
But it's
always
still,
work.
good. They pack it
It
for you.
it sounds good on the face of it, but if
uh-huh.
like in Gibraltar, they would put like 2 plates in a box and then you'd be like,
Oh,
hold on, we could get more in there, I'm sure.
Hmm.
So we did a lot of packing ourselves, and we've got so much stuff in storage back in the UK.
no.
It will be such a surprise when we go home, because we're only here until 2026.
Oh,
So it will be a huge surprise when we go home to discover what we left behind and just live amongst all the boxes, because that's what happened last time. Actually, we came home in 2012 completely so in 2015 completely forgot about all the stuff we had in storage. We moved to a 2-bedroom apartment, and
cool.
like they brought all our stuff out of storage, and the guy said, I don't think this is all going to fit into your apartment. So I was like, oh no. And then we had the stuff shipped over from the USA, and I was like, oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know what to do with myself. There was so much stuff, because you live in a place and you collect things, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You fill the
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Didn't
but
you have the
it's,
same experience, Sylvia, with your when you moved and they had a lot
Well,
of bubbles in the
oh,
in the
like this
boxes?
my latest trip,
Yes.
my latest move. Yeah, which is the last one, hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was just the amount of wrapping papers. It was a
Wrapping paper.
pile like going up all the way to the ceiling. It's awful. And they help packing, they put everything, but it's still a lot of work. You still have to do a lot of things. It's insane.
yeah. And it's like up there in like the top 5 of the most stressful things you can do as a human is move
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
house. And,
Hmm.
I think we're in house number 5 or house number 6 or something. Like, ugh. I want to move somewhere eventually so that I can paint the walls and
Yeah.
decorate it. But, again, I'm not moaning. Life
Mm.
is, life is
It's a fabulous
fine.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great life. I'm having a good time. So, yeah, it's not so bad. Except, like, obviously I don't work while I'm here. Well, I haven't got a job yet. So,
Oh, we're going to ask you about that
oh, I'm
also.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm jumping the gun a bit.
Yeah. No. So quickly. Yeah. So you had a job before, right? In the UK,
I
but
did.
are you
Yeah.
allowed to work here too, or so
Yes,
what
I
were you doing in
can.
the UK? Just tell us what were you doing in the UK
So
first.
in the UK, I was a police officer.
Mm.
Um, for now, it was like 17 years I did that. But I had some
Wow.
career breaks in between so that I could move here, and went to Gibraltar. So yeah, like I was a cop for a while.
You have a
Wow.
Yeah.
gun?
No, I didn't have a gun, probably because they wouldn't have trusted me with one. But sorry. No. Can you imagine?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
like better
guns.
not.
Yeah. So yeah.
So when you're here, do you feel the need that you want to go back to work or do
Oh
something, or you have
yeah.
to take care of the kids? Do you have time?
I'm loving having the opportunity to be at home with and be like a full-time mum. I'm loving
Okay.
it because I'm here for my kids. I can pick them up from school. I can cook them dinner. They Rafe goes to daycare because we choose to send him, because he needs to be around other kids. He's 3, and also, I mean, what am I going to do with a 3-year-old? Like,
Yeah, I know, right? I feel you. Like I'm in the same boat. Exactly the
yeah,
same.
and it's very stressful and exhausting,
Hmm.
isn't
Mm,
it? So he
Yeah.
yeah.
goes to daycare on like the military base down the road, and he's having a great time. I would like to go back to work, because you kind of working is part of your identity, isn't it?
Hmm. I mean,
And
if you can find something maybe part-time or something.
yeah, I would like to there's availability for me to find work in like the school field as like a
Mm.
classroom assistant or something. That would be great, because then I can still prioritize my children,
Hmm.
because they're the
Yeah.
most important. So yeah, I could get a job, but it's just I'm so busy cleaning
Hmm.
this house, and like
I
I
know
know it
that that's
sounds
how I feel. It's like I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm always busy, and I chose
Mm.
constant,
to
isn't
be
it?
with them too. And I like being around them. I like picking them up
Absolutely.
from school, taking them to
Mm.
activities, cooking them lunch, dinner, everything. That
Uh,
and
mhm.
and it's still a lot of things to do. The house, like cleaning up and laundry. I have no
Oh,
break. I'm like,
The
what?
laundry.
Laundry is insane.
yeah,
So
Never
they
no,
ends.
do.
It never
It
ends,
never
that
ends,
laundry.
does it? So
Yeah.
how
yeah.
are you the same, Veronique, with two kids and you work as well,
Oh,
don't you? How do you
and I
do
started
it?
from the beginning again. From 10 years ago, I started again with the diapers and everything.
Yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
Woohoo.
behind you girls now. So
Oh,
Yes.
look.
imagine. Yeah.
And you forget it all in between time, don't you? Because we've got 6 years between our two, and
Mm.
you forget everything. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I
Hmm.
forgot babies did this.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. You're
it's,
just happy when they start sleeping through the night, right?
oh
That's
yeah,
the best thing when they start
that's
sleeping.
the best.
Okay, now I can go to the next step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I
For
can
4
go and
years,
do,
you're good, Veronique.
yeah.
4 more years, you're good.
Thank you for more years. Let's
Almost
wait.
there. Almost there.
Almost, yeah.
Just
All right.
hang
So,
on.
so Zoe, has your husband have ever been deployed to like a dangerous zone, or it's always like you always going to like relatively safe areas,
Relatively safe. I have it
Mm-hmm.
written down because I was like, where did you go? Like, I've forgotten.
Mm.
So he did Operation Telic in the Arabian Gulf.
Okay.
Okay.
So he was on a ship for that. He was away for 8 months.
Oh
And
my
I said,
God.
I said to him, but that wasn't frontline. He said, yeah, of course it was. Like, if you're on a ship and you're doing, and the ship is like, I suppose, attacked, for want of a better word. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's frontline stuff.
Yeah.
So he's done, and so that was as part of the Iraq War. And he's been away several other times to crisis areas. But we've been really fortunate in that he's been able to come home to us every night for them. Apart from he goes away on odd
Mm-hmm.
trips, and he's been away for 3 months here and there. We're very fortunate that he comes home to us every night.
That's
I saw him in Hawaii. Give me a break.
I know it. Do you know what? He's
Having
he's
the
going.
time of his life.
Oh,
He's
tell me
like
about it. He's
working hard in
he's
Hawaii.
I know, in Hawaii. Oh, I'm just going to go snorkeling on my last day.
Yeah.
um, he's going to Japan tomorrow. Like, whatever.
Okay.
So he's been all over,
Yeah,
all around the
yeah,
globe, pretty much.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he works hard. He works hard for us,
Yeah.
and he is most amazing. But don't tell him I told you that.
Well, I hope he's gonna
Oh
listen and know.
man, I know he
Yeah.
will. He's going to be like, "You said that about me."
Right.
um,
So the 8 months when you went away, were you together for those 8 months, or
yeah, and we had been
you didn't see
together.
him for 8 months?
Oh, I went to visit him in Dubai halfway through.
I was in
Mm.
Dubai. Okay. Oh,
Dubai
yeah, because he was in. Yeah.
in July. Dubai in
Oh,
July. Yeah, it was
Wow.
warm.
sweating.
I know. Hello, darling. Haven't seen you for ages. Just like melting everywhere.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So otherwise, but yeah, other people like here in the US, they're separate for like a year, at least a year, and they
Yeah,
get
right?
married. Yeah, and I think it's very hard. It takes a toll on people.
Yes. A
Very
For
year.
hard.
sure.
Especially if you
Yeah.
have kids and everything. Can
I
you imagine?
know. Yeah, and that's like not just dad's going away, mum's going away, or
Yeah.
you if you've got kids, I just can't imagine.
I couldn't.
It's so hard.
No.
Very,
Yeah.
very hard. Unless
Yes,
you have like some
absolutely.
family support around you that can,
Mm.
Oh,
relatives, but if you don't, like, what do you do?
yeah.
It's very
Yeah,
tough.
very tough, but you do it for your country, and
Yeah.
it's I
Yes.
think
It's
it's honorable.
beautiful, doing that for so people
Yeah.
need to appreciate it more because you're out there doing things that a lot of people don't want to do,
Yeah,
risk
Mm-hmm.
yourself like that. So even when we
exactly.
were like my young and my dad was being transferred to all those places, we are in the middle of the jungle. It's not safe at all. Like imagine that in the
Wow.
80s with no, like in the Amazon jungle, all kinds of disease that you can catch, like
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of things that can happen because you're in a tiny village, so you're just risking yourself a lot, putting yourself out there. And yeah, it's important to people to appreciate it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I bet as a
Mhm.
child you didn't really realise the risk, but your parents must have just been like, panicking all
I
the
can't
time.
imagine because we were like, I was 8, my brother was 6. I remember you were catching some weird like skin disease. I'm like, what is this stuff on my arm? Like all kinds of, and you could see snakes on the streets. It's just like it's so risky, and kids wants to play outside all the time. So I can imagine my
Yeah.
parents like, oh my god.
Yeah, can
But
you imagine?
in the
Or
Amazon
being chased by a monkey.
or a monkey,
Yeah.
yeah, like it's
Yeah.
one of our first episodes. The monkey story is there. Attacked by a monkey one
It
time,
was
but I'm
very
okay.
cute.
I survived.
You survived to tell the
That
tale.
story was hilarious, Zoe. She went to visit a friend, and the monkey was looking at her, but he was in a chain, right?
Yeah, like it was on a leash, but it was
On a
the
leash.
longest leash ever. And he saw me, and like those military houses, they had like very big yards. And the monkey looked at me. I looked at the monkey, like okay, and I continued to walk, and he just found me. He was able to catch me because that leash was huge, and grabbed my leg and started biting me. I'm like,
Oh no!
Can you imagine?
Oh
God.
my
But
goodness!
it wasn't that bad. I had a few scratches because he was tiny, but I got traumatized with monkeys after that. I'm like,
Monkeys are horrendous. So you know that they live in Gibraltar, the Rock of
Yeah.
Gibraltar. They have monkeys at the top,
oh,
and they're like
see how they are.
they
Yummy.
are awful.
Mm.
It's a
Weren't you
tourist.
scared? Because I saw they
Oh,
were all over when you were walking around.
petrified. Literally, like you have to wear your bag on your front, otherwise so I think they think it's a baby. Otherwise we watch them jump on people, undo the zips on rucksacks,
hell
and
no.
take things out, honestly. And
Oh my God.
honestly,
I'm
but
out.
one of them,
Imagine Veronique there.
I'm out. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not going to go there. No,
it
thank
was
you.
horrendous. One time we had Ryan had the stroller with Rafe in, and Rafe was asleep, and a monkey tried to take the bag from underneath the stroller, but we had strapped it on, and Ryan had to kind of like take this monkey on and was like at it, and it went and it ran away. But I'm not kidding you, they are
Vicious
horrendous.
animals. Yeah.
Vicious, yeah.
They're not scared, and they're not scared of people.
No, but they have like different tribes in different places on the rock. So the ones that are you get like you go in the cable car up to the top, and the ones that live by the cable car are savage. They'll jump on you. They jumped on the cable car and into the cable car, and I was like, you are
Oh my God.
kidding. Honestly. And they wait for you at the top, and they try and take your stuff. But the more you go along the rock, they sort of like are a bit quieter, and there's different families living in different spots, so they do different things.
Oh
It's
my
really
God.
weird.
So they steal your backpack and they run away with it? Like
Yep.
literally like
Yeah, honestly.
Is it because they cannot find food there? Why are there all people like this?
They are so well looked after. They're vaccinated. There are monkey carers up there, people that look after them. They're just so used to being around humans that they just they take stuff, but you're warned. Keep your bag closed, keep it on your front. If you've got it there, they're not going to take it. But people don't listen. Yeah. So people don't listen.
That is hilarious. Oh my God.
It was horrible. We would take people up because it was like, you've got to come. If you come here, you have to go up and see the monkeys. But really, I just wanted to go see you when you come back down. Ugh. You get PTSD from it. I'm not kidding.
Oh my God. Can you retrieve the bag, or like they just take it away for like in the tree and that's
they
it?
run away with it. Yeah, they run away with
God.
it. Yeah.
Imagine
run away with your
stuff in it.
Yeah, like a passport or your keys, or you'd be lost, wouldn't you?
Oh, totally.
They are so brave, savage beasts.
Do they have signs everywhere saying, be careful, put your bags on the front? Do they have signs like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they tell you, if you're going to go in the cable car, they tell you, the guys in the cable car tell you, but some people just go, okay, and they don't do it. So like, all right, that's up to you.
Yeah,
see how you get on. But yeah, they bite and everything. They bite, and they're just, yeah.
What a fun experience, huh?
Oh, yes. Come to Gibraltar, get bitten. But otherwise, the country is fabulous. It is
fabulous.
a lovely, yes, fabulous. It was a great place to live. Just some of the monkeys.
Apart from that, yeah, it's
yeah. Some of the monkeys, not so much.
I saw you had a lot of good friends over there. You had a lot of parties with the girls and stuff. You look like you had a good time there.
We had a great time. It was I've made friends for life, and they've moved. Some of them since moved back to the UK. I'm still in touch with them, and when we move back to the UK, we'll likely live near them.
Yeah,
Friends for life, absolutely. Because
that's
you're
cool.
the most intense friendships, because they have to develop quickly, because you're,
Mhm.
you know. But yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. I wouldn't change a thing, a bit of it. It was lovely, and I love the country. So I look forward to visiting again. So when we get the chance.
So when you leave here, are you done? Is Ryan going to be done with the moving, do you think, in 2026?
I
Are you going
think
back to
so.
the UK and that's it? Or maybe another country?
No, I think we'll go back to the UK, but there are a couple of possibilities for locations. But for us,
Mm-hmm.
we want the children. So when we go back, Erin will be like midway through high school. So she needs to be somewhere. She needs the consistency to do her
Mm-hmm.
exams. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think when we go to our next place, we'll stay there and get a house just for the children to go through school. And
Yeah.
because it's so important, I can't keep chopping and changing, education wise. So yeah, we'll be in the same place.
Okay. But
Yeah.
in the UK, not another
Yes.
country.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no. I think we've both decided, as long as it works out, and it works out with the job that Ryan's given, we both would like to aim to go back to the UK, because I know that a lot of people don't have the choice to get told where they're going.
Mm.
So if we can ask, or there are certain places where he could work, hopefully that will be us in the UK. That's what we would like to do.
Okay. One thing I was wondering though, does he work with Americans or I think you told me when I went to visit you, but I don't remember. He works
Yeah,
with
he's
Americans here, right?
he's kind of like on an exchange program. He's working with the US Navy here.
Okay. Okay. He works with
Yeah,
the US Navy. All right.
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, he's having a good time.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
saw that.
I know.
Mm.
Hawaii,
Mm.
Japan.
Japan. How long is it
Japan,
going to
girl.
be in Japan?
Oh, literally 6 days. It is going to be
Okay.
exhausting. It's a long way to go for such a short time.
Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah,
He's used to that, probably, huh? Used to
he'll
that.
be okay. It takes its toll, doesn't it? With jet lag is terrible, but
Mm.
a few
Yeah.
days later, you're right as rain. It's cool.
Yeah,
He'll be
back to
fine.
normal.
They,
Yeah,
they, they,
absolutely.
they all have their own cabin in there or they don't have to share, right?
Oh, he's
In
going
the
to go.
boat.
Oh, well, it depends on it when he sails on a ship. It
Mm-hmm.
depends. I think that they do share cabins, but if you are like at the low, when you first start and as a youngster, you stay in a big cabin with, I don't know how many people in it, but they're sort of like
No, thank
male
you.
male
Mm.
and female cabins. But as you go up the ranks,
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Uh-huh.
you get a smaller cabin,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
Okay.
you less people to share with, but sharing still. So cozy.
So when you go to Japan, is he flying? What is it? Is it
Oh yeah,
something?
he's flying. He's got a conference
Ah.
that he's going to,
Okay,
so
okay.
it's hotel based this time.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's not. Yeah.
Okay. I thought they were going to sell there and come back. I'm like, what's going on?
If in 6 days, if they had a time machine,
Yeah.
maybe. But
I was like,
no, he's
okay.
flying. He's flying tomorrow. So
Okay.
yeah, it's gonna be good. He'll have a nice time of
Well, I
space.
think that's all we have. Yeah. And we're
All right.
almost in time. Perfect. Well,
Nice.
Yes.
say hi to Ryan first and to the
I
kids.
will. I will. And you say hi to your lovely family too. It's
Yes.
been so nice to talk to you both.
Oh,
Oh,
I
Oh
loved
my
it.
goodness.
yeah. We
Oh.
have to come
It's really
visit. You have
nice.
to come visit here too.
Oh, I will. We've got 3 years, so we will
3 years.
We
Yeah,
will
but
arrange it.
times fly. We say,
I know.
we have time, and then it's 2025.
I know.
Yeah,
So you have to
exactly.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it. We'll be over to see you for sure, because that's what we said. Right, if we're in the US again, we're going to go
Yeah.
West Coast and see you guys. So we'll be over.
Did you have time to see some friends that you had here before when you moved here the first time? Did you
Oh
see some
yes,
friends? Yeah,
we've still got the same friends. Some
they're
of the
still
same
here.
friends. Yeah,
Okay.
we've got a really close couple that live right down the road, and another couple that live like 40 minutes away. So yeah, we're just so lucky to be back with people. It's like we call
Mm-hmm.
them family, because they're like friends who've become family.
Family,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
family. So yeah, we've got our family here. So it helps when you're separated
Yeah.
from your family. So yeah, it's all good.
For
We're having a good
sure.
time.
Okay. Have a good life.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I cannot complain for sure.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you for
Thank
giving us some
you.
Absolute
time.
pleasure. I've enjoyed talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Loved
Hopefully
it.
we see you soon.
Yeah, take care, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.